Hello friends, Tom Downey here for Chat Sports. The 2019 NBA Draft is in the books. We've already published our full NBA draft grades, but now we're going to look at some focused teams here. First up, or I guess second up here, because we published our Boston one, the New York Knicks. Now, I know there was the initial disappointment of, we're going to get Zion, we were the worst team, and then they don't get Zion. They're going to get the number 2 pick. The Knicks fell all the way down to number 3 in the NBA draft lottery. On the bright side, though, it really was a 3-player draft. No Zion, no Ja Morant, but RJ Barrett was the long-assumed selection, and for very good reason there. Now, the Knicks only had number 55 overall in addition to that selection, and they did have some interest in moving up or adding a second-round pick. Frank Ntilikina was on the trade block. That, of course, did not go down. More on the second-round pick later, but number 3 overall, despite having some workouts late in the process with guys like Darius Garland, with players like Kobe White, the Knicks went with the, well, duh pick of RJ Barrett at number 3 overall. This was the obvious pick, and it's what RJ wanted too. He didn't even work out for the Memphis Grizzlies. He wanted to go to the New York Knicks. I think that's a good thing for Knicks fans. They got the guy that wants to be in New York. Barrett now becomes the focal point of this Knicks rebuild. I don't know how long it's going to be, depending on what happens in free agency, but Barrett is now the focal point of this team going forward. Really great numbers at Duke, 22+ points per game, over 7 rebounds, and 4 assists. He was a very, very good wing player for Duke, fit really well alongside Zion Williamson. The one big concern for me, and it's simple, it's the shooting. It's the spacing ability from deep. 30.8% from deep, which isn't a disaster, but that's not what you want. And if it's going to work for RJ Barrett to be a true superstar and all-star caliber player, he's going to have to improve on his deep ball shooting. Otherwise, he might end up being an inefficient chucker like an Andrew Wiggins. But maybe he can develop more like a Harrison Barnes, like current Harrison Barnes, or even better than that. So grade the Knicks pick of RJ Barrett. A, B, C, D, or F. I've seen some people throw out like B's and C's for Barrett, which I don't really get it, frankly. I think it's an A pick. He was the 3rd best player in this year's draft class, with a pretty notable drop-off after number 3 overall. So, of course, you go with the number 3 overall pick. That just made sense to me in the end. So, I think it's an easy A start there for RJ Barrett and the Knicks. A obvious pick, but the correct one still for New York. Knicks waited a while then for their next selection, all the way down to not number 55, but actually number 47, where the Knicks traded up with the Sacramento Kings. Now, the Kings got number 55 overall, and I'll give New York credit. They did not chip away a future second rounder. Instead, they only sent cash. It was often traded cash consideration to the Kings there, so they bought a chance to move up. They took Ignas Brazdeikis. But first, who won this trade, Knicks or the Kings? I don't think there's a loser here. Kings trade down, everything. I assume they got their guy. The Knicks, meanwhile, great job to not give up a future second. So I know it's a second-round pick and whatever. It might not be anything worthwhile, but I give him credit for keeping that draft capital alive going forward. Then at number 47, Ignas Brazdeikis goes to the New York Knicks there in that trade up. Maybe they could have waited. Maybe they needed to go up and get him. Either way, I think it's a quality addition here for New York. They need more scoring at the wing position. They have Kevin Knox, and it's kind of it, right? Of course, they have RJ Barrett now, too. I don't think Brazdeikis is going to usurp Kevin Knox anytime soon, but at number 47 overall, knowing he can score almost 40% from deep, just under 15 points per game, more points than first-round pick Jordan Poole, by the way, had at Michigan, 5 rebounds. If you can find a role player who can be that 9th or 10th guy off your bench, your 9th and 10th overall player, at pick 47, that's a success. I think that's what Brazdeikis could be for the New York Knicks. I don't think he's going to develop into a starting caliber player by any means, but that's not what you're aiming for late in round 2, just inside the top 50 there. You're aiming for players that can help out your bench long term. So with free agency, of course, still yet to occur, here's where the New York Knicks sit. Of course, RJ Barrett going to start right away at the 2 guard. That's a no-brainer there. Kevin Knox at the 3. For now, we'll slide in Dennis Smith Jr., Mitchell Robinson, and a big old question mark at the power forward spot. And we'll have Ntilikina coming off the bench, Trier off the bench, maybe in some small ball lineups. You see him get some reps there. Henry Ellison, Jenkins for now, Brazdeikis there. But of course, free agents, the big focal point there for the Knicks. I feel pretty good about the shooting guard, small forward, center spot in RJ Barrett, Knox, and Roberts. That's a pretty promising young core. So grade the Knicks 2019 NBA draft. Is it an A, a B, a C, a D, or an F? Let me know in the comment section. I figure we'll see mostly A's, maybe a couple B pluses thrown in there, some B's thrown in there. But for me, I gave him an A minus. I think this is a very good draft class by the Knicks. This was a great draft class. That's what an A minus is. Not the best draft class, but a very, very good one. Brazdeikis can score. Barrett can score. They did not give up a future second-round pick. That was a big deal for me. Two good players. Of course, Brazdeikis, a bench player. Barrett does have that all-star potential. We'll see if he gets there, but overall, a really good job by the Knicks here. I give them an A minus. They are definitely a 2019 NBA draft winner. That's why they get the A grade. Now, we will make note of some undrafted free agent pickups so far by New York. 3 different players they've added so far. The first one there, Kenny Wilkes out of UCLA. That's a 2-way contract, so you'll certainly see him in the G League for New York and maybe even at the NBA level in a big way this year potentially. They've also signed 2 guys to what they call Exhibit 10 contract, which is kind of not a 2-way contract, not just a summer league invite. So we'll watch them, see how they play. VJ King out of Louisville and Amir Hinton out of Shaw University. Bonus points to anyone in the comment section that can tell me where Shaw University is without Googling it. No Google allowed. If you just give me the state, I'll consider that a win as well. So let me know where Shaw University is, because I will be honest, I did not know before I saw he signed with the Knicks. Now we move to the offseason overall for New York. Now their needs were obvious. They needed wing help. They got that on RJ Barrett and Brazdeikis. Power forward, well, that's still up for grabs with plenty of cap space to spend for New York, and depth, that just need more guys to fill out the bottom end of that roster. The good news for New York, they do have 2 max contract slots available. They still want to sign Kevin Durant, and they still want to add 1 more key player. But Knicks fans, remember, you guys don't even need the reminder because I know it's kind of painful. The history has not been great for New York. They've missed quite a bit in recent years on the big-name free agents, and they just have not been able to pull them in. Now, they're still going to try and add Kevin Durant. Of that, I have no doubts. They're going to pursue Durant on a max contract deal. There's even a report that the Warriors could try to pitch Durant on a sign-and-trade that allows Durant to get more money, spend some time rehabbing, pick his destination, and Golden State is able to recoup more assets. However, this is clearly more of a play for Golden State. Like, in the end, what does that couple extra million mean for Durant? He's already made so much money. And it only hurts his new team. They give up assets there in the end. So I think for the Knicks, they would not have a ton of interest in that. Golden State certainly does. And for New York, I do think Durant remains in play. That is going to be their first call in free agency. It had kind of been assumed that the Knicks were going to get him, and then he tore his Achilles. And now there's kind of some uncertainty, some confusion there about what Durant will end up doing. Can he also bring in somebody else? Now, if the Knicks miss on Durant or sign Durant, I still think power forward would be a good fit. Tobias Harris makes sense. Julius Randle makes sense. I know it's not a true Kyrie Irving type co-star for Durant, but that'd be a pretty good pickup at, let's just say, maybe if I think Tobias gets maxed, but like $20 million for Randle? I think that makes some sense out there. So let us know. Who will the New York Knicks sign in free agency? I'm still going to say that Durant ends up as a New York Knick. But with that second max contract slot, I don't know. Maybe it's Kemba Walker if they want to go for the point guard. I'll make Dennis Smith and do your 6th man. Maybe it's D'Angelo Russell. Could make some sense. There goes from Brooklyn to New York. Doesn't even have to move there. I still think to watch out for Julius Randle. I don't think the Pelicans re-sign him after taking Zion and drafting Jackson. Of course they could. I think Randle makes a lot of sense with or without Durant for the New York Knicks to use some of that money, because frankly next year's class, it's not that great. Aren't a lot of great options. I mean, maybe Draymond Green, but beyond that, kind of thin, especially into this year's draft class. But let us know, who will the Knicks sign in free agency?